When I bought this 4Runner, it was not in good condition, but the most obvious cosmetic issue was the front bumper. The previous owner had been in a collision, and so they replaced the front bumper with an unpainted metal bumper, and it was missing the hardware, and it kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. Now, I know I talked a little bit before about replacing this with a winch bumper, either ARB or otherwise, but to be honest with you guys, the ARB bumper is extremely expensive, brand new, and it's really difficult to find in the aftermarket. So I decided for the time being, I want to just upfit the vehicle, make it look like it's supposed to, and I want to do it in the most cost-effective way possible. And for me, that happened to be a junkyard pull. Now, one of the things I could have done was just painted the black primer bumper, but the paint on this truck is 24 years old. Now, it's scuffed, it's faded, it's got a lot of scratches on it, and if I were to have a brand new, freshly painted front bumper on there, it would still stick out like a sore thumb. One of the benefits of a junkyard takeoff is this bumper was off of a 2000 4Runner, and the paint looks the same as the rest of it. So honestly, anybody else on the road wouldn't know that it didn't come off of this truck unless I told them. Now don't worry, I still fully intend to throw a winch bumper on here because you can't be an ultimate dedicated overland rig without a winch. So we're gonna get that taken care of. In this video, we're gonna replace the front bumper, the grille, and I'm gonna show you guys some of the things that I had to do to deal with the damage underneath. So at this point, I've already disconnected the wiring for the blinkers and the fogs, and I already removed the nuts holding the bumper to the bumper brackets. I wanted to reuse the brackets that are currently on the truck because the parts that attach to the frame were bent in the collision, but the holes for the bumper line up still. Because of the slight bend in the bumper brackets, the threads on the bumper bolts were getting caught, and I really had to battle with this thing to get it off. I am finding that there's a tiny bit more damage on the front end than I expected. I knew it had been in a front end collision, but I thought that it was dead center because I saw this little dent here, you know, where it was kind of pinned a little tiny bit. But the radiator and everything is the original one, so I didn't think that it was going to be that big of a deal. But I'm finding now that over on the passenger side, I knew the fender was bent right here, but I didn't know what was underneath it. So looking underneath now, I can see that the radiator support's bent inward, so this is bent in, and it did have a little bit of an impact on the alignment of the headlight. The grille attaches here and here, and because the headlight is not aligned properly, the grille doesn't fit properly, and there's kind of a noticeable gap. I mean, if you look at this side, you can see there's a very even skinny gap there, and then on this side you can see the headlight is kind of pushed a little towards the center. So what I'm trying to do is just compare it to the other side. So like I see this bracket here is bent inward, and this, so that's bent upward, and then this whole piece is all bent out of shape. So comparing to this side, you can see this piece comes basically straight out, and this piece goes straight up, and then it kind of does a little zigzag, and then the fender attaches exactly in that spot. Now, I wasn't super worried about the fender, and I didn't really care too much about fixing it. I did go to a junkyard, and they had a green one with a fender, but they were charging a ridiculous amount of money for a junkyard part, so I said screw it. And now that I've taken the bumper off, I can see all this extra damage here. So I'm going to try to just make the holes for the headlight support a little bigger, and then I'm just going to get a washer. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so there's a little screw for the headlight support right there. Doesn't even look like it's screwed in all the way, so maybe if I do that, maybe that'll help. But thinking about taking it off, making that hole a little bigger, and then just getting a washer for this and pushing it to the left a little bit and tighten it down. So maybe that'll work. We will see. The other problem is there's a little bumper filler that goes right under the headlight here. You guys have seen that. The left side just kind of clips on, so there's no place for it to clip. So I'm wondering if possibly using the screw will be enough. I'm not sure. So trial and error, you know, it is what it is. It's gonna get bashed up anyway, but this is where we're at. And I'm about to throw the green bumper on it that I got from the junkyard, and fingers crossed it looks a little better and everything lines up. I know this is bent a little bit here, and I think this one is also bent a little bit. So normally what you would do when you take this bumper off is you would disconnect this screw and this screw, and then the whole bumper would come off. But because this piece is bent and it was already on the vehicle, I decided to undo the screws here instead. So that way it should line up to the other bumper. So fingers crossed for that one. I just realized those other screws I was talking about where typically you would unbolt there and there. Well, the people that removed this bumper for me, they did it that way. But because I ended up undoing it here and here from the truck, now I have to remove these two brackets. I don't know if you guys can see that, but these two studs right here is where the brackets that look like this were at from being pulled off of another 4Runner. So I took those off and hopefully it slides right in. This might be a two-person operation. I'm not worried about banging it up because it's already all banged up, but you know, just for ease. Okay, we're getting there. Yep, that piece is bent a little bit. The alignment that I'm talking about, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on camera. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm trying really hard. Alright, there's a little stud and a little hole, and that hole is on the front of the fender. Okay, well, on this side, maybe you can kind of see that stud is a little bit too far to the right. So, I don't know, dude. I'm going to have to pull real hard to try to get that in there. This thing right here, it's adjustable from both ends, right? So there's a bolt that goes here, and that's the part that attaches to the fender. But then there's also one at the bottom. And then there's two super fat bushings. So I'm hoping if I loosen this bolt right here, this nut, that I can adjust it enough to fit in the hole that it's supposed to go in. Okay, I had to call for help. I wonder if like the 1999 is wider than the the 2000, because it looks like it's a little bit wider, but it's also not on all the way, so. We're one step closer to the treasure, gentlemen. That's the Gates family legacy. Sons who disappoint their fathers. Read some books. This thing is dirty AF. It needs a paint correction bad. But it looks better than the other one, huh?
Are you okay?
I do have some penetrating oil.
I bet you do.
Yes, ma'am. There we go. That's what I needed.
Good thing I was here.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you, baby. Don't quite let go of it just yet. I'm gonna get two bolts, two nuts. I keep saying bolt in place of nut. People on YouTube are gonna make fun of me. I wonder how many extra nuts and bolts I'm gonna end up with when I'm done. I'm gonna be like, I wonder what that went to. All right, there's not enough teeth for it to grab. I'm gonna just give it a good whack.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't want to do it too much because I'm gonna mess up the threads.
You got some in.
All right.
Good?
Yeah, I'm good, baby. Thank you.
Okay.
When in doubt, call your woman out. All right, guys. So when it comes to even the smallest fender bender, alignment issues will occur. So I don't know if you can see that, but the bumper is supposed to slide in underneath where the front fender is, and unfortunately, due to the fact that it's bent down ever so slightly, so now the bumper can't clear it. I'm gonna try to finagle it. I'm not gonna be able to bend that fender, so I think I'm just gonna have to do something else, but luckily this part's plastic, so worst case scenario I can try to cut that out, but I don't want to have to do that, so we'll see. The donor vehicle that the bumper came off of, it looks to me like the the two line perfectly. So I'm wondering if the 99 is a different width than the 2000 because it's short on both sides. See, it's sticking out a good bit over here. And then it's also sticking out a little bit over here. Now, mind you, I haven't finished bolting it in yet, but you know, just upon very quick inspection, it looks like it doesn't line up, which is weird. And it still looks better than the other one did, but fingers crossed it lines up when I'm done tightening it down. So basically I came to the conclusion that when this thing was in a collision, it was like dead center of the front bumper. And so what I'm guessing happened is right under here, connected to the fender, is a little clamp that kind of supports the side of the bumper here. And what I assume happened is when this got pushed in, these fins right here just kind of popped out on both sides. So then what it did is the bumper and the fender are attached by a bracket, and I believe what happened is this kind of got pushed out on this side, and same thing happened on that side. And that's why when the junkyard bumper is on and it's perfectly centered, both fenders stick out a little bit. You know, if I was super worried about it, I would go to town, but honestly I am intending to put an ARB bumper on here at some point, and then the alignment's going to be irrelevant. One of the other issues is this bottom part of the fender here is pushed in, and the radiator support is pushed in a little bit. So the headlight alignment was a battle. It took forever to get that set, and I actually broke the headlight that was on there in the process. So let me pop the hood and show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but right in there, I can't even see the camera, so I don't know if you can see that, but right in there at the base of the headlight, I actually put some spacer washers from a TV wall mount kit. And basically what that did was that pushed the headlight out. Because when you attach the headlight to the radiator support that's bent, the headlight was kind of pointing downward a little bit. This part was in further than this part, and then the most unfortunate part of that is the grill attaches to the headlight. So this one zip tied here. This is the OE Toyota one, that's the original headlight, and this is a replacement of the replacement. So before I realized that the issue was actually the headlight housing, I was using the adjustment screws here, and I was adjusting it to push the headlight out so that it would align here. But the problem is this was still out of alignment, so the grill didn't line up. And then I also couldn't get this bottom plate on, which it's still not on properly. Long story short, I put some body panel adhesive and I just glued it to the bottom of the headlight, because there's supposed to be a little clip right here on the fender that holds this in. So this thing's gonna be bouncing up and down and whipping back and forth. So I just went ahead and put some adhesive right there, and hopefully it holds in this Texas heat. This one's just kind of sitting here. I've got the clip coming for that one, and I'll install that later. But anyway, it took a lot of trial and error and loosening and tightening and installing and uninstalling, but I got the headlight perfectly aligned. So the gap between the headlight and the side reflector is pretty much exactly the same on both sides. The grill is perfectly aligned, and I kind of used the faded paint on the bumper as a guide. But yeah, everything is perfectly aligned now, and that took way more time than I expected, but it's a night and day difference, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's clean. I did want to give you guys a little bit of an update. So as you can see, the bumper filler is no longer there, but the adhesive that I put on here actually did work. So I just used some regular 3M body panel adhesive that I got at O'Reilly's. I just stuck it right to the bottom of the headlight housing, and it fit great. It stayed just like it was supposed to, lined up with the faded paint on the bumper. It looked good, but I kind of did a oopsie, because I don't know if you guys remember, but there was some stuck adhesive on the hood here from the previous owner. They had a bug deflector or whatever you want to call it, and so I was going to town, sprayed Goo Gone all over this thing, and I was just going over it and over it and over it, and the Goo Gone actually dripped down here, and it got on this adhesive, and it basically just dissolved it, and it fell right off. So I'm gonna have to scrape this off and do it again, but it did work and it did hold up to the heat. Just don't get goog on them. So I think I forgot to show it earlier in the video, but I did talk a little bit about, you can see that. Is it super bright? This is a cheap, like $15, $20 TV wall mount kit from Walmart. If you guys have ever wall mounted a TV, then you would probably see these super thick, like spacer washers. They can go on the back of a TV to give it like a little space for the bracket to hang on. And this is what I used behind the headlight. So the radiator support was pushed in from the collision and the headlight wasn't able to align. So instead of bending all that stuff out of place and trying to modify the headlight, I just used these spacer washers, and I got a longer screw from O'Reilly's, and I just stuck these back there, put the little longer screw through it, and now everything lines up the way it's supposed to. The headlights are able to be aligned, so I'm not blinding other drivers. And speaking of headlights, that's the end of phase 2, part 1. We got the new bumper, we got the new grille. Truck's starting to look a lot more like a regular 4Runner. I'm really excited about how it's coming together. It definitely needs a paint correction. It definitely needs to be cleaned up, and we're gonna get to that. But in the next video, we're gonna do a full LED conversion for interior and exterior, and it's gonna completely change the way the truck feels. Trust me. Throwing LEDs, especially the interior and the headlights and fogs, completely changes the way a vehicle looks and the way it feels when you get inside. So I'm super excited for that one. It's a fairly easy, inexpensive job, and it makes a huge difference. So I'll catch you guys in phase 2, part 2 next week. Freaking bugs.